every day. And I got to ask questions because the team was heavily involved in strategizing, monetization on different modes and different mediums, and so that by default allow me to ask a lot of questions. And I didn't have to really get out there and sell, but I just needed to run some spreadsheets and make sure the numbers projected the way the stakeholders wanted to see and wanted to be shocked or wanted to be exposed to. And if they had any questions, I would be answered to those questions. And so reading some of those titles, that was when I learned about Broken Age, Brutal Legends, or Psychonauts, because I'm not a gamer, but reading game titles was just a fun thing to do every day. So doing some work that's not supposed to be super glamorous or exciting, and so that was the window for me to allow that in, a bit of sort of like ray of light, some shine, doing the Excel spreadsheet, number crunching, and most of all, importantly, I'm an extrovert, so I can stand out and I can make a presentation. I can, nudge people's shoulders, gently and let them know, hey, if you could provide me those numbers, or if you could explain to me the story behind the numbers, or if you could give me some names of the vendors, or if you could provide me the scope of that spending, like a marketing expo, like E3, or what's the is that a ParkCom? Is it that one of those Seattle exhibits?
For us.
Yeah.
Huh?
GDC is the big one for us.
GDC, yes.
GDC, yeah. And PAX, I think you were.
PAX.
That was.
Oh, PAX, yeah.
Yeah.
So that at Sony PlayStations, I would work with the co-marketing teams in order to run through those costs and make sure the calculations look right, invoices come in or not. So that sort of discussions.
That's good to know. Yeah, I think a lot of this position will be having to track people down and ask for the reasons why they're spending certain amounts of money. But I think this position is mostly internal finance managing rather than sales or finding our external numbers, because I think for us, Microsoft takes care of a lot of that.
Oh, on the sales side, meaning, okay, sales and marketing.
Sales, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even think we know our sales numbers. Microsoft just takes care of that for us.
Okay, that would be same as at Sledgehammer then.
Yes, similar to Sledgehammer, yeah.
Okay. The only difference is though, you guys get to keep your own email versus at Sledge, all the email changed was Activision from day one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a fully integrated, even like all of the AP invoices, the PO, your payroll, and your benefits, everything runs through the parent company.
Nope.
Oh, that's at Sledgehammer. Yeah, we're limited integration, so we still maintain separate payroll and benefits and all of that.
So it's very interesting, and it would be very beneficial for me to get the taste of everything, because I told Denise, like the Double Fine job description, like for this role, it's like a marriage from my two, prior jobs. So I'm able to give definitely a lot of contributions right off the bat. And I also heard that you guys do not have a travel and expense policy. And I spent absolute hours at those two companies looking at their travel and expense process and their data sets. So I have a lot to contribute right there and then. And even for big companies like that, it's not perfect, it's not rosy. You know, it's the more you dig deep into the data sets, the more bottlenecks you discover. And it's just up to a worker bee like myself to find the best layout, to find the best message to share with the team, how we go about it. So one time, let me share with you a story. I think it was like maybe a year and a half ago or a year ago, like the pandemic opened up. So one of the offices at Sledge was located at Melbourne, Australia. And so the COO went over finally after Australia opened the border, because they weren't able to go anywhere, in and out, for the longest time. And the COO had a casual sort of like one-on-one, or I don't know, like maybe roundtable with the staff members there. And one of them told them, oh, my expense reports took an average about 7 months.
Oh my God.
And we're not going from just receipts and Excel.
Yeah.
They were already using Oracle expense system. So it is already a very reputable reimbursement, one of the best out there in the whole wide world. And yet the bottlenecks were major. But mind you, they were in the process of integrating and migrating over to Concur. And while, I'm sorry?
I was gonna say that's why everything goes on my company card.
Yeah, exactly.
Random people will just be like, "Hey, Eric, can you pay for this? I don't want to get reimbursed." I'm like, "Yeah, go for it. Here."
Well, then that would be, I mean, it's not sustainable,
No,
right?
it's not.
So Concur is not perfect, but just we gotta like go into and incur some pain in order to understand where the bottlenecks are, and then treat them. So just nobody had ever, invested time to do it, or I didn't have the luxury, because I should be the one who go around the world. I mean, not like go around the world, but I should be the one who interview the staff members. Hey, what do you think about the expense reports? Do you have any feedback? Is there anything I can do? Is there anything I could help you out? I could dig around. So it was painful for the COO to hear that sort of feedback, and he came back, hey, can you take a look at that? Why it's taking 7 months to be reimbursed? Because that's embarrassing. That's just...
Well, it slows down the company. No one wants to throw their money out for 7 months. You know.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, and having a company card is so much better. When we were acquired by Microsoft, everyone had to turn in their expense reports to close out the books. And I had to turn in 3 years of expense reports.
Okay.
And Sammy, the person from this role prior, was like, turn this in. And like a week before we got acquired, I was like, okay, here you go. $3,000 of random expenses going back years that I didn't bother. I was just going to forget about it, but he was very insistent that I actually do it. So I did. He was a little annoyed.
So if we could like come back and create a policy with some documents that people can read, understand, and follow, and if we can set some boundaries in terms of like spend limits.
Well, we've been working on that. So that's, from an IT standpoint, that's something we're working on all the time, which is people ask us for random things constantly because we don't have an enforced, and so we have a policy, but no one knows what it is, and it's rarely enforced. So everyone, it doesn't matter who you are, just randomly asks us for new furniture, new computers, Yesterday, someone asked us for a portable monitor, and they didn't tell us why they needed it. They just told us it was on sale.
Okay.
That was it. It's on sale. Can you buy this for me? It's on sale.
Okay. So by the way, that's nothing to do with T&E, but it's okay because it's part of the procurement. And I understand IT does have a big load in a tech company, in a game studio like this. You will have requests coming from different staff members asking to buy this, buy that. So this is why having some written document or having some guidelines at the top of our head, my head, is important. So that whenever I hear this, boom, I have the antenna. I know exactly which page to turn to, and I could just share exactly what that is, and that would come under. Because listen, if it's within the bucket, and if there is accountability established, meaning we will have either identify this is a PO purchase or if this is a non-PO purchase. I mean, I'm not going to go like bother at this point if it is a PO required or if it's not. I just assume it's already done deal determined. And we can just, start tracking and just start pushing the spend. And
Yep.
then when the invoice comes, AP will log it and will process it, and then the bank will release payment. So that next time when you contact the vendor again, you won't get a red flag, hey, you haven't paid the last invoice. It's 150 days overdue. We never want that. So for the finance person, so my role is not to have you engage in that dialogue. The vendor's not fulfilling because you have an overdue invoice. No, we don't want the lights to be turned off.
Yeah, I think, so myself and Isabella represent sort of the employee morale side of things. So we, our side with the person who left, the finance analyst left, was to create budgets for upkeeping the office, but also like our yearly parties, like the holiday party, our company's birthday party. And then Justin and Aaron do the IT side of things. Isabella and I also do a lot of the T&E travel booking. But I think what Aaron is getting at is that for all four of us, we have employee requests for things. And we currently don't have hard set rules on what we are allowed to spend money on versus what is just sort of a whimsical request from the employees that they want to do. So that is something we would like this role to come up with is like, if they go to Aaron and say, I want a $600 portable Wacom just because I feel like traveling, is that something we would do? Or is that something that is not within our business budgetary reasons?
Yes. Wacom is the art tablet, right? For the artists. Is it art
Yes.
tablet? Yes.
Yes. But there's reasons we would buy it and there's reasons we would say no.
Oh, okay.
And those aren't properly outlined. It's
Yeah.
sort of